Okay. Ep.2. Here I'm doing stuff today. Trying to figure out YouTube Live. That's the first thing. Oh shit. I'm just gonna make a post on here. Crap. Alright, hold the phone. Hold the phone. Let me put this out. Let me put a link to what we got going. Alright. I don't really know how to find myself, or like that live stream in particular. Okay, here it is, I guess. Alright, this is the actual live show. Gotta put it on Facebook. Boom. Now people know where to go. Bling blah. I apologize to Jeff for leaking his info, or just his recent Facebook messages. Other than that, I'm ready to get down to business. Are you? I am. Okay. So, first things first. I'm gonna go to YouTube. On my iPhone going on YouTube. There I am. Here we are. One watching. Thanks, Jeff. Okay. My channel. So, what I'm trying to do today is I want to add that channel art. First, I gotta make it. So, this thing says do 2560 by 1440. Okay, whoa, wait a second. How to create channel art. Let's see. What's the deal with here? Create or edit channel art. Add or change channel art. Get images. Image size and file. The minimum dimensions are 2048 by 1520 or 1152. Max width. 4 megabytes or smaller. Desktop minimum and mobile. Okay, so 1546 by 423. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm gonna plan on doing right now, because this is kind of wacky, kind of crazy, I'm going to, I think I'm gonna make like a tiling thing, something that will just tile seamlessly, and I can kind of drag and drop it in whatever file size I want. Because saying TV is the 2560 by 1440, so that's what would show up on like a TV if someone came in my channel. I'm kind of more interested in just like desktop stuff, so basically this box, but for this I'll just focus on this area and worry about the TV sized area at a later time. So I'm going to try and emulate my own style that I'm going for. Oh shit, I'm getting texts. Sorry everybody. People asking me things. People are always asking me. Thanks. Alright, so basically I'm going to try and go down this route of kind of having an image on a black background. It's been something that I've been trying to build up for a long time now. kind of makes me feel like we're kind of going into this weird void world where any kind of crazy surreal stuff can happen. So basically something like this where the background is black and the foreground is super bright colors, super saturated. That's a style I like recently, and I've been doing a lot of eyeballs, hearts, all kinds of stuff. So maybe I will just build some kind of, let me just start off in Photoshop, kind of build a even sized square, do like 400 by 400, and I'm doing that based off what this says on the YouTube site. It says this is 1546 by 423. I'm thinking if I do 400 by 400, I'll be able to fit almost almost four squares into this triangle. Or, oh my god, I'm dumb as hell. It's this rectangle, my G. Come on. I'm just gonna double check, see if my stream is even on. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Is the stream on? Okay, that was like the old stream. See, I'm learning. I'm learning here with you guys. Where is my stream? Where's the live stream? This is a stream? Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. Alright, this is live. This is the chat, I suppose. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Brah, brah, brah. Shh. Can't see the whole image. It's cropped. It's been cropped this whole time. Fuck. Alright, let's figure this out in here. Alright, let's see. Let's deal with this shit. Can you see more now? What? Word. Alright, alright. Can you see me now? How we doing now? How we doing now? Alright, asking my loyal audience. Okay, swag. Alright, guys. For anyone listening to me, I'm sorry about all that. Basically, to recap, I'm trying to make the art for my YouTube channel. Not that one, not that one, not that one, but okay, it's actually this one. Shit, I have so many tabs open. But basically, I'm just trying to make my channel art for this, and I was kind of confused with how the channel art worked. Previously, I attempted to put something in for the channel art, but it didn't work. It basically just cropped like super incorrectly, not the way I wanted it to. So my new plan is to make a little tiling piece that I can kind of tile as many times as I want and just throw up onto YouTube as many times as I want, like tile it as many times as I want, and kind of put it onto any screen possible without any kind of weird issues. So I don't know, I was kind of figuring I would take this slow and try and just figure out what I might want to do for all this stuff. Okay, whoa, that's disgusting. That brush I just used was, wow, that was really gross looking. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, okay? Opacity jitter, why is that on? Minimum, 0. I only want 0 for the minimum. Alright, this is the brush I use sometimes. It just has to be hard. Oh, no, it already is hard. Okay. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I use a brush like this most of the time. I'm a big believer in just using simple shit. And I'm gonna just check the stream again. Alright, everything good. Wow, I can see what I'm doing. That's sick. Alright, so yeah, I'm a big fan of just using what works, what I know. I have Kyle T. Webster's brush pack, which I think is an amazing gift to the human race, but even so, you don't want to get too used to add-ons like that. Just because in my day-to-day life, there are times when I would go on like a school computer or maybe anybody's computer and they don't even have those plug-ins. So I'm just sitting there kind of lost, just thinking, oh, what if I had my beautiful brushes? But that's just a waste of time. Not gonna get anything done doing that. So yeah, I just like to keep it simple. Use the soft round or the hard round, whatever you want. But also, never knock a Kyle T. Webster brush. Okay, that man changed the whole game when he released these brushes. They're very amazing, and I use them all the time. And mostly for effects, to be honest. I don't really like start and finish anything with his brushes, but effects like using the canvas type brush, using the noise brush. Oh, I love encaustic grit. Are you kidding me? This shit's bomb as hell. I love this brush. It's amazing for, especially if you're doing something in 3D and you're hand painting the textures and you want a little bit of like griminess or crudiness. You can encaustic grit the shit out of it. Okay, look at that, completely encaustic gritted up my heart. Boom, that's fun. We like to have fun here. That's a biggie for me. Thing is, with all that, you're using like tool presets. I don't know how those work. I ain't no scientist, but you just gotta set your brush back up. Don't worry, it's not really difficult. Make sure your spacing is always super low so you don't have any issues. Alright? You don't want high spacing because then you can get spaces in your lines, and you don't want space in your lines. Alright? So basically what I'm doing now is I'm just drawing, just trying to see what comes out before I go into 3D, go into Maya, but you know what, this isn't helping at all. So I'm just gonna go do my thing in Maya. Alright, sorry about that, it didn't go that well. What are you gonna do? It's tough. It's tough out here for a kid. Let's see. Alright, this is my thing here. What's up? I got a notification? Oh wow, someone liked it. Thank God. Yeah, I realize that this is super late, but I'm awake. So I figured, maybe some other people are awake. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. This is the only time I have to get my stuff done. Oh, also, whoa, if you want a little behind the scenes action of how I made the Nick Dahill show, please stand by. Graphic. Wow, there you go. It's all fake, basically. Nothing fancy. Everything's just moving on a timeline. Everything's just getting pushed and pulled constantly. Alright, that's that scene. Save it up and start with a new scene. Let's see. Do I have mental ray? Already on there. Swag. Pixelated. These are my custom settings, I guess you could call them, for rendering my pixelated style. Yeah. So the basics of it is using fixed sampling, anti-aliasing contrast 1, and change your filtering to triangle with a 2 and 2. I've posted before my render settings, but if anyone wants them, I can post again. But first, I'll just kind of like show off what they do basically. I'm using the film gate right there, which will show me what's going to show up in my render. So basically, I'm going to make a new camera, right? Perspective 1, fire. I'm going to place it on the grid, essentially. Not like that, like this, and like that, and like this, and like that. So I just want it lined up with the grid, so it's always just looking one way, always with the horizon line in the middle. And then I just set a keyframe for it so that no matter what I do, will always have my camera set up properly. Alright, this is all good. Check that chat. That's annoying. I could see why people have 2 monitors. I'm sorry, guys. I really am. But, anywho. So, I'm going to start with a eyeball because that's just where I usually start. I like eyeballs. I'm a big fan. I'm not super Illuminati confirmed type, but I just like eyeballs. I think they're cool. They're like my favorite sense is sight a lot of the time. So, I rep an eyeball. I love noses too. I love noses. I love ears, mouths, love them all. But I just don't get around to them all, guys. So, but everything's gonna have its day. You're gonna see some ears. You're gonna see everything. I got it coming. Don't worry. So I'm just gonna make some new materials, and let's just start with that. I'll give it a render. Boom. Boom. That's what we got. Looks pretty good to me. I feel like we could stop there, but we're not. Just kidding. Just fooling with you. Yeah. This is the way I usually do my stuff. Just start with a few materials and just get it going. Just fucking with colors. Fucking with like what's what basically. Oh shit. Poo poo. That's not supposed to be black. Alright. Well, anywho. This is the fun part where I select all these triangles at the top of the eye and by hand and just make them black. And my computer's running a little slow with all these people watching with all 8 eyes. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna try and contain myself. Yeah, I got 8 eyes with me. So basically, we have the eyeball that's kind of just hanging there, taking it easy. It's not really your traditional eyeball because of the first, color picking that I did was a bit inverted, you could say. I'm gonna just call this orange. Who the heck? Who just messaged me? Oh, it's Jeff. Uh-oh. It's probably no good. Whoa. Well, wait a second. We're getting some divine intervention from Jeffrey. Jeffrey Shea. If you don't know Jeff Shea, you should. He's an amazing man. So this pupil is a little too tiny. It's looking very crazy eyes looking. So I'm just going to bump it out a little bit. All this stuff all over. Hey, it's Vsauce. Oh, snap. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody who's watching. 8 eyes. 7 eyes now. Thanks for watching. I know it's late, but I just had to do this now. I knew if I pushed it off any longer, it might go undone. So I just had to really just had to get this one in, to be honest with you, because I want to talk to everybody and kind of share some thoughts that I had over this break that I thought you guys might resonate with you. This pupil business is tricky. Hold on. Interesting. Hold the phone. Oh yeah. Yeah. Alright. Jeff's telling me make the highlight, essentially, I think. Yeah. So I could definitely do that. Do white. Bring it in. Look at that. Boom. Whoa. Is that an eyeball or what? If you didn't say eyeball, that's kind of like, thought we were friends. But that's okay. I'm just gonna double check my reference just because I don't know. I'm overthinking how I do my eyeballs right now. So yeah, I'm going to add a ring around here that's like the orange color, but a little more red. A little too red, I'd say. Okay, just call it orange 2. See now, the eye's pretty big, pretty dilated looking, but I like it. I think that looks sick. If any of y'all have ever used the program Pico 8, that program is kind of what inspired my 3D pixelated look, to be honest with you. I made something very similar to this eye in Pico 8, and Pico 8 is a virtual platform where you can like make games, share games, play other people's games. I think it's called a virtual console. It's pretty sick. So I was futzing with that earlier this year, probably last year, but it's really cool, and it's just gave me a lot of ideas about where we could take this art style. So now I'm here with you guys, and you're gonna help me figure it out. And yeah, so I got my perspective 1, and interesting. I could do this with perspective, but it might be in my best interest to do this like this with the orthographic camera. And the reason I think it's best to do it this way is because we are going to tile this at the end of the day. I'm trying to make a pattern, so I'm basically going to have this image repeated a few times, and if I have perspective, it's going to look like it's tiled essentially, so I'm going to try and minimize that as much as I can by using the orthographic view. I think that was the front. Nope, it's the side. Yeah, there you go. Fucking, like, does it ding or anything if I get a chat? Like, I want to keep up with everybody. What? Terminator 96? I don't know who you are? Are you kidding me? You're crazy. I see you. I see you in the stream. Yeah, 7 eyeballs. Alright. So I got my eyeball. And I don't know. We were talking about senses before. I think it may be good to just go hard and make a nose. Alright? This nose isn't going to be crazy. Not in any sense. It's just going to be some regular stuff. Okay? This is all very similar to the Yo format, but I really liked making that. So I don't care. I'm gonna just rip myself off, basically. So yeah, you know, it's not too hard to make a nose. Just got to kind of make this thing. Just start with a block and then kind of pull it together. Look at that. Wow. We already got a freaking nose. Nose shaped. Looks like a nose. Let's see. Yeah. Kind of want this to look like it's a nose, but not make it necessarily look like we got a face going on. I want it to look like a face maybe exploded in this, you know. I'm not trying to set it up to look like a face. Bottom line. That's the bottom line. Okay, I don't know. I don't know about y'all, but that's the bottom line for me. Other than that, I'm... Now, should I make these toon shaders? Am I crazy? No, I'm not going to make them toon shaders. So I'm not trying to go insane. And if you don't know what I mean by that, toon shaders are going to go based off of a light source in the scene. Earlier on in my scene, I set up an ambient light, and that ambient light is what's making everything look like flat color in my render. So if I were to do toon shading, I would have to put a directional light in, and it would light everything accordingly. It's very sexy. Very, very cool. I like where this nose is going. It's very fun looking. I'm just going to try and add some nostrils. Yeah, let's do that. These aren't going to be anything crazy. And if anyone out there has ever seen my stuff and has thought that I go in and try and hard surface model stuff for some reason, just be prepared for some surprises, because I don't model anything really. I'm just juxtaposing things with other things until you get the effect that you want. And that's kind of what one of my personal idols, Bob Ross, he kind of did that. His thing was what? Oh man, yeah, I blew up my fucking. Thought I had keyframed the camera, but I guess I hadn't. So we'll just bring that back in. You can grab the camera and press that. Don't know why. Okay, maybe you can't keyframe orthographical cameras. Not too sure. First time I'm trying it. So yeah. But basically, to get back to my point, if anyone thought I was trying to get in here and hard surface model this nostril into the nose, that sucks. I feel bad for you, because I'm not going to do that. That shit's very boring, so time consuming, and at the end of the day, no one cares. No one cares how you do this stuff. Okay, the only people who care are the people who consume it, and they don't really know how you did it. They just see what they see. So if you did it an easy way, that's good. If you did it super hard way that takes 900,000 hours, then you're gonna make one piece every 900,000 hours, and that's just boring. IMO. I don't like working on stuff for a long time. Not even stuff I'm super interested in, like having a lot of fun with. I like to just slash and burn type, do my work and just get stuff done. I'm all about getting stuff done. I don't want to sit here, wrestling these things for days at a time. I just want to get my stuff done. Or, not so much get my stuff done, but like move on to the next project, basically. So, I'm going to call that nose pretty alright. Thinking maybe an eyeball could go right here, but then we're kind of getting back into the territory of like a real face. It's not the end of the world. It looks like a real face, so I don't know. I'll try it real quick. Ain't no shame in trying it real quick. That's for sure. I'll push this back and go into my side view. That's pretty sexy. If I put like a smile here and some text, that would be pretty sick as its own image, to be honest with you. So I think I might I don't know. I'm trying to just imagine this tiling, and I don't know. I definitely should start putting some stuff off the edge to kind of get the tiling to look like less boxy. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start with the plane, ride with the mob, Alhamdulillah, check you with me. Yeah, I don't know. love ASAP Ferg. I really do. Just can't think of that line right now. It's all good though. Don't matter. I'm making this artwork, not singing. So I'm just doing this in the perspective mode, but I'm just checking it in the side view just to make sure everything is going smoothly. And now I'm trying to make like a knife blade that'll have like a handle coming out the other end. So kind of like, it'll kind of be an element that breaks the border of the tile set, and will hopefully make the set look a little less or a little less mechanical, a little more organic. And yeah, so let me take this, just grabbing all these faces, and I'm a game art person. I'm like working to, get into games and all that. So I get pretty, upset when I see an Engon. I'm not gonna lie to you, I get pretty upset. But okay, it doesn't matter if I do that. But I'm realizing more and more that kind of you don't have to give a shit about Engons. They don't really do that much damage outside of the game setting. And even in the game setting, I kind of see stuff with Engons sometimes. But don't tell anyone I said that, or else people will get upset. It's true. I know you're telling me, Nick, they're not going to get upset. I'm like, listen, they might. So just be careful. My naming conventions are pretty whack. I'll be the first one to say they're pretty wild. Can get confusing sometimes, but I'm always trying to kind of ask myself, is this something that's only going to be used on the knife blade, or is this just a color that's going to be used a little more generally than just on the knife blade? So, sometimes I'll name something the color that it is, because I think that I'll use it again in a different way within the piece. Oh shit. But other times I'll just name it knife blade and say that color is only for the knife blade. But I don't know, I find myself using that stuff over and over. So yeah, it's whatever you want to do. Let me go into here. It's annoying that I have to keep like resetting this thing. Oh man. Right, well, at least that's kind of set up the right way. Now this is like, whoa. What's that knife doing? That knife coming through. Maybe we turn it. Turn it a little bit. Woo! Woo! Yeah, shit doesn't read at all. Hey! Will it read if I do that? No, it's just gonna look like the shape. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's funny. It's funny how you can't read it because it's isometric, or orthographic, I should say. If I move this over here, this is a freebie right here. Okay. Don't tell anyone. But look at that. Oh, little smile. Oh me. I really crack myself up sometimes. Yeah, so got the knife. Knife's pretty big, so I'm gonna take that down. And basically, I guess I'll just make the whole thing, make a knife and all that now, so that I can go ahead and, how should I do this? I'm gonna make the whole knife like as one part, so then I can just take that one part and split it in half and use it as the tiling element. Here, you'll kind of see what I mean by that. Alright. At this point, let's see what the deal is over here. Oh, we only have four people. Artsy. Yeah, we got 4 eyes. But I'm gonna just do some talking about random shit that I've written down. I guess this is pretty good. The access to technology. That's something I've been thinking about lately. And just what I think about the access to technology is, and I'll be talking a lot in terms of my own schooling. So if you're not from Ringling, this will definitely still apply to you, but just excuse any talk of things that are not particularly important to you. But with that being said, the lack of access to technology, I feel like it's kind of been a theme throughout my life in a sense, just because I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near struggling as an individual as I was growing up. I think I had plenty of access to plenty of different things. My parents, they bought me what I needed, and then I kind of bought whatever I wanted. So it's all in that kind of front, the not having things, because I've always been hella cheap all throughout my life. And with that being said, it's just like people that I hear are, and myself included, can get brought down on not having X thing, not having a strong enough computer to do something, not having the right program to do something. And I'll just start with, in my younger years, I would just do stuff with basically anything I had around. So the big kind of example I have of that is just when I used to play World of Warcraft. My friends, I guess, had pretty cool PCs and everything, and I had a MacBook somehow. I don't know how, but all I had was my MacBook. And during that time, I just remember like hanging with my friends, and I was just kind of sitting there on my laptop with like no mouse, no nothing, just giving them the T-Rex arms, as you might say, where I would have my laptop on my lap, and I was just kind of typing away with my hands. And yeah, it's just like not a comfortable way to do stuff. But when you don't have the best shit, I feel like it's easy to let yourself get in a mindset of, oh, I don't have the best thing, so I can't do this in any sense. But I think that's rarely the case. Um, you know, when I was trying to apply for an internship over the summer, I got an art test, and when I got that art test, I was literally just arriving at my grandmother's house, who has no Wi-Fi or any like computing power really, and I just kind of had to post up in my grandma's house and get it done because that shit was due ASAP. And maybe I could have told my future employer that I needed more time to do what I needed to do, but I think at the end of the day, I really didn't need more time. Like, time wasn't really needed at that point. I just needed to sit down and figure out like how to get what I needed done, and I ended up using my PC that I brought from school, and I don't think I ever got the internet on there, but you know, between using my phone for communicating with my boss and um, stuff like that, I was able to get the thing done, and everything turned out well. So that was just like one of the many examples of times in my life where you don't always have the right equipment for the job, but a lot of those times you just got to figure out like what you do have more so than what you don't have. Um, I watched recently a video with Steve Lacy, and he's being interviewed about using his smartphone for like most of his recording on this album that he's making, and I just thought that was sick as hell because any way that you can minimize cost to your operation, whatever that may be, I think is just like complete sexiness. It's amazing. I love it. Um, because then where you save money on that piece of equipment or whatever type thing you're working with, you can invest in another area of whatever you're trying to do. So I thought that was pretty inspirational video, and if you haven't seen it, it's called like Steve Lacy. Um, if you put it into Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube, it'll definitely come up. It's just Steve Lacy and like a cell phone, basically, and you can look that up at your leisure, at your goddamn leisure. But my point about lack of access to technology and kind of just a trend I've been seeing a lot lately is this just like general industriousness. You know, like I see so many people in my schooling and just people in general who are trying to like, maybe they're letting things get in the way of what they want to do. So I've overheard people say, "Oh, Maya, you can't run Maya on a Mac." And I don't know if you noticed, but this is a MacBook, and I'm running Maya on it. Granted, you could definitely argue that staying low poly makes working on a Mac much more feasible, but I think that, I don't know, for this particular person, they're letting their lack of access to some technology that they think they need get in the way of actually making the thing they want to make. So I would say, if you're in that kind of scenario, just make the thing you want to make in any facet that you know how at that time, and let the technological part come later. If you have a good idea for a character, draw it. Then when you do have access to a computer, you can go ahead and bring that into, um, you know, whatever 3D program you're working with, whatever Illustrator, Photoshop, whatever. If you're working with Photoshop, you can just straight up fucking scan your stuff in and color it in Photoshop. So definitely, I'm trying to get onto a wave of eliminating all excuses for myself, not letting myself succumb to excuses. So with that comes the angle of always kind of getting your work out no matter what type thing, not letting technology get in the way, and not letting anything really get in the way. I was just talking to Jeffrey earlier, and I was telling him just about David Lynch. And in an interview with David Lynch, he says that an idea is like an idea is essentially a gift, and always to cherish that and write every idea you get down so that you don't forget. And I I'm kind of taking that and going for not letting any idea get away, just pursuing the things that come naturally to me, if that makes any sense. But like in the case of this show, um, I've been sitting here working on stuff, and I kind of have an idea for something, or I'm thinking about stuff, and I just kind of write it down just to give myself a little reminder, a little like seed to work off of for later, um, when I do have time, like I'm doing now. And so now I can kind of flesh out those ideas, even though like earlier they were just inklings of an idea, or maybe I wasn't at my computer and couldn't verbalize my thoughts type thing. What is the deal here? Weird. This is annoying. Let's see what's going on. Got my four people going hard. Yeah. So that's one of my things I've been thinking about. Let's go off my little script. I'm just gonna talk about 2018 because I'm hyped for 2018. I really am. I think it's gonna be one of the sickest years I'm a part of, for sure. Why not working? I have a great feeling about this year. When 2018, when the ball dropped, I was hyped. I was just like, oh, hell yeah, bro. This is gonna be sick. And I think I feel that way just because I have kind of moved away from the shit that I feel like I had to do and moved more towards the stuff I want to do. So a prime example of that is I always felt like using Instagram, for example, or any social media was like a waste of time, when in a waste of time because it wasn't working on my portfolio. And like, it's all about your portfolio, you know. So I always thought that working on personal work was basically like a hobby. um, any time put into that was time taken away from something else. And now I'm realizing that that's the dumb fucking way to do shit. And the way I'm seeing things going for myself is I'm going to make my own brand, my own presence online, my whole focus, and letting my portfolio building stuff go to the wayside because it means nothing, basically. Like, I don't understand the concept of making a portfolio versus making artwork. Like, people I talk to kind of, they like, you hear all the time, just fucking, you know, go find a company you like and go make your portfolio stuff that they do, and maybe they'll hire you. And I kind of feel like that's just like, that's not the way I've ever done art in my life. um, I've never looked to something and just copied it or really like emulated it for a reason like that. Um, my artwork has always been to basically see the things that are in my brain come to life on the page, essentially. So I don't know how I got kind of scammed into thinking that, but I've always felt um, like someone was telling me that I couldn't do Instagram, I couldn't focus on that, like that was the dumb thing to do. But I've come to terms with the fact that maybe I was the person uh, making myself feel that way. Um, just and now in this new year, I don't want to let that happen again. I want to keep growing as an artist and really just like take this little nugget of stuff I've been doing this year and really make it into something a lot better, a lot, you know, a lot bigger and badder than last year. Because in my entire experience at school, you can kind of, you can do a project um, through and through. You can do it the best to your ability. You can do really well. You can, like, you know, excel basically. But as long as you do what is asked of you, people are rarely impressed when you do something that's asked of you. Um, when you do something that's asked of you, it's a bit more like doing chores for your mom than really doing artwork or doing anything really impressive. It's just, you did what I asked. Here's the next thing I'm going to ask you. Go do that now. Um, and I know a lot of people who like to do that, or that's just like a way they like to work, or are fine with that being the nature of things. But I just personally, I come out and make something funny, let's say. Like, I do my projects, but then I add a little something funny on top. And I get a laugh from, like, a friend, or someone says my shit looks really cool. And that means much more to me than getting a good grade. And I think that's where you impress somebody, with this ability to take something that's regimented and make it your own, and add a flavor to it that only you could. Um, Sorry for saying all the time too, but this is kind of my first go at real life streaming, so bear with me. Other than that, I'm sorry for being all over the place too, but it's my first time, guys. Don't take me out yet. Don't kill me. Just bear with me. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that when you do something like to someone else's standards, like, I've just noticed that they really give a shit. But when you do something completely out of left field, that's when you really get other people excited. Like, doing something exactly the way you're supposed to, I feel like gets no one excited. It's just, you're just doing an action. You're just, like, achieving a goal, kind of, but it's like, for what? At the end of the day, like, why do you make this portfolio? Like, oh, so you can go get a job? And it's like, why did I get the job? And it's like, oh, you get paid money. It's like, but I was doing the art thing from the jump because I thought it was fun. It's like, yeah, well, we don't do that for fun anymore. Like, you do it for money. And the thought of losing what I do for fun for money, that's like, that's the opposite of why I pursued art in any facet. Um, I could have gone out and, like, done, like, normal schooling. I feel fine. Like, I would have done fine, and I probably could have gotten, like, a normal job doing, like, maybe, I don't know, computer science is super fucking hard. I'm not gonna say that it's not hard, but I feel like if I applied myself, I could have gotten a job doing, like, business, or possibly, um, you know, anything, science, whatever. I was a pretty decent student in high school and all that. But my point is that I decided to go to art school, and I decided that I would try and give myself a better life than just doing something I don't even care about. So why would I take the very thing I care the most about and whore that out? Like, I don't understand um, that super a lot. I mean, yeah, there's the point of, you get money and you can live your life while doing artwork, but I don't really care about living my life. I would really just like to make, like, my art my life, and I'm just saying, I guess I'm trying to say that I'm not interested in, like, just being able to go home and, like, turn my brain off, like some people are telling me that they like to do. Like, the job facilitates them being able to go do their day's work, then come home and kind of like do whatever they want, whether they want to like veg out or whatever. But I don't really understand that because I've been an artist my whole life, but I've only made money off art in like 3 different scenarios essentially. And I don't know, making money off your art doesn't really feel any way. Um, I'd say if it feels any kind of way, it feels like annoying that I have to do it. Granted, you have to do it. You have to like sell your artwork. There's no doubt about it. When you make something, it takes on value. So I'm not saying don't value your artwork. I'm saying why would I go this far in the game of getting a job because I want to do it, and then just at the very last second go and like make a portfolio for some random company that's going to fucking like steal my life, steal my artwork, like make me stop, like basically be in the way of like me making artwork. Like I just don't like it. So that's kind of my feeling on that. And that's why in 2018 I want to get my ass going and kind of fucking, start my own shit. I just want to be self-sufficient and not have to rely on anyone else. I don't want, at the end of the day, I don't want to have this fucking like portfolio that will get me into one company that is oh so gracious enough to take me. I think that's like, I think that's kind of the bitch made way of doing stuff, to be completely blunt. And 2018 year, no bullshit, so I'm not trying to like sugarcoat what I'm saying. I'm just saying I want to go to a company and have them say, oh, you're Nick Dahill, we want to work with you because we know your work. We know X, Y, and Z that you've made. I don't want to be the character that I'm calling now artist number 80 that just comes in with a generic portfolio and says, oh, hi, would you be so gracious as to hire me because I've done the right things and I could seamlessly mesh with your company's culture. Like I just think that stuff's really boring. And I mean, like, culture fit is a whole nother thing. I don't think that's boring. Like, I think that's necessary. But just on the thing of like I don't know. I want to do art for myself. I don't want to do art for other people, basically, in the sense of I don't want to do other people's art for them. Maybe that makes more sense. Where you're getting paid because you're willing to put your own art on the side to facilitate someone else's. That's the way I kind of see doing commercial work. And I just don't think there's enough time to do that. I mean, you have in this last year, I've wanted to do so much stuff, and there's just so little time. So I'm wondering, when I get out into the world and I have a family or something like that, like I'm gonna have a job, this family, and have time to do my own art. Like how is that gonna work? Enlighten me. So I'm trying to cover my bases now and just get all my shit together so that when I get out into the job market, I have some kind of fallback and can say, oh, but I'm Nick Dahill and this is why you should hire me, because I'm a G, and not just because, oh, I got an A in my class. Like, what? It's like how does that quantify anything, really? Like, um, I have a lot to say about grades and grading, and like just in the context of art school, but I'll hold off on that for something a little more long form, unless you want to hear it now. But there's only 5 people here, bro. See, Jack feels me. Yeah, Jack's saying, I find that's what people Mark checks your school struggle with, is that they ask the professor what they want to see in their design instead of designing what they want. Yeah, I feel that too. It's just like like in my school, everyone that I'm around is like, like, teacher, tell me what exactly to do to get an A. And then the teacher will say, oh, you should add 2% shininess to this thing, and then I'll give you a better grade. And then that's the way it goes. Like, they add 2% shininess, and then they come back and say, I did exactly what you said. There's nothing, you got to give me a good grade. And then since they said that, they basically just give you a good grade. And I don't know if that's the case everywhere. I'm just saying, for me. But I don't, like, who cares what grade they give you? Like, they're your teacher. They don't even work in the industry anymore half the time. And then fucking they're just telling you like something so that they can see when you come back to them that you actually iterated. And that's just like, I don't know. You're like asking the teacher to kind of like make the decisions for you in a way, which I feel like, why don't you just do it yourself? Like, you're making this piece of art. It's your piece of art. It's going to go in your portfolio. Like, yeah, obviously the teacher can help you. They have experience that's valuable to you, and that's why you pay them so much in a lot of cases. But like, fucking, um, like, at the end of the day, you're the one walking away with the piece. So if they tell you to do like 2% shininess and then the piece is going to be a better grade, that doesn't mean that it's a better piece, like, overall. It doesn't mean that much. They're just trying to cover themselves and say, oh, well, I told you to do that and you didn't do it, or you did do it, and boom, that's it. They can walk away happy knowing that you actually iterated on what they said. But I think maybe it's the difference between, maybe it's a different way of doing things, but especially at the end of this last semester, I look to my teachers less as really teaching me anything and more of just like maybe moral support. I have no idea. They're just like kind of they're just like a catalyst, I guess. I don't know. Like, there are teachers that I love so much that help me every day, and I think have made me grow tremendously as an artist. And then there are other teachers who I think just do them, and really they're not really interested in making artwork. They just want you to like make whatever and then kind of get out of their face. And I don't really like that at all. I'm I'm like a super demanding type person, and if I'm paying for stuff, I want everything. I want the kit and the caboodle. Okay, so if a teacher's just sitting there making me do stuff for no reason, I'm gonna have a major issue with that, basically. And that's why I think these grades are kind of dumb, because you're sitting there taking their class and maybe you don't learn jack shit from their class, but it doesn't matter because they grade you. So you have to actively kind of come into it and say, like, okay, I'm going to forfeit X amount of time to whatever. X amount of time to fucking some project you don't want to do. That's like the bottom line. Some project you don't want to do. And that becomes fucking, you know, you're giving up your own time to like do what this other person's telling you to do, and then they're just giving you like feedback so that they can like basically cover themselves when someone comes knocking and says, "Why did you fail this person?" Um, so yeah, my thing with that is just get what you want out of everything. You know, don't let someone else tell you how to do something, or like don't let someone else tell you how to do something because it's the easy way to go. You know, everyone's everyone's fine with mediocrity when it's just like expected, I guess. But when you're out here working on like actual projects that matter, like mediocrity is not going to get you anything. You need to be fucking like hella special to like make it in a lot of these fields and like markets, because they're oversaturated as hell. We don't need any more Halos. We don't need like more CODs. Like COD will continue to make COD until the day we're all dead. But you know, if you want to make something really special, you just gotta go for it and like do it yourself. And that's why I'm thinking that 2018 is the year of doing shit yourself. DIY, essentially. How long have I been going? Oh shit. It's almost an hour and 20. Alright. On that note, I mean, this is what I got so far. So this is gonna be like, it's kind of there. It's kind of, I mean, it's not there at all. But it's just a start on my YouTube banner sort of thing. And I'll just try and show what my plan for it might be. Alright, excuse the colors. They're coming out a little darker, muddied than in Maya, because I have some settings messed up right now. So basically, I would take this and stretch it, take this and stretch it, and then this thing, stupid, boom. So yeah, okay, look. So this is kind of the problem with the, I mean, I guess I could put something right here and it can kind of break it up, but yeah, you could put it right there and it'll kind of break it up. But yeah, I was gonna say that's the problem with making a face. It's very recognizable, instead of like breaking it up more with more elements, but that's not that bad. So basically, you could imagine this going, vertically and horizontally more, and it would make up like what my banner would be at the end of the day. Let's see it horizontally. Yeah, because then we could add some elements that go over the boundaries, like horizontal, or I'm fucking stupid, not horizontally, vertically, and kind of see where that goes. Make that kind of interesting, and yeah. So that's the tiling texture we got so far. Definitely gonna want to add some more to it, but I like where it's going. We got this knife. It's kind of like chain knife for some reason, and the face is right there, and I think it'll come out cool with probably a little more work. But yeah, thanks for everyone who came and hung out for a minute, and I hope everyone has a great slumber. And yeah, tune in next time. I'm gonna try and make things a little more organized and announce when I'm gonna go online much more in advance, not 5 minutes before. And hopefully everyone had a good time. So thanks everybody.